Welcome to Coupling Rights with the Purposeful Joy. Today we will be having a conversation about how to connect rightly for a marital relationship. And this conversation is taken from our book, Together, The Power of a Purposeful Joy. It's going to be enlightening, it's going to be illuminating, it's going to be inspirational, and we are sure, we believe God, that it will be transformational, even as you learn a thing or two on how to connect rightly for a marital relationship. I have with me today my darling husband, my sweetheart, my very handsome, So I have with me today my handsome, darling husband, Sam Aditi. Please, darling.
Yeah, it's so good to be here. Thank you, everyone. We are so delighted to have you watching this video at this point in time. And we are so convinced that, like my wife said, my purposeful door, you're going to be having a great time with us in this conversation. Like she said, we are taking this discussion from our first book together, which was written in 2019. Together, the power of a purposeful door. And you probably are wondering, what is together? We're emphasizing that by giving you the sign. Together, Together, but this says together. That is TWO together. It's our coinage that represents two people. That's a male and a female who are connected in purpose. Okay, and I think that's from the major background for the conversation in the book. Just about how many pages? A few pages. It's not even up to 100 pages. But we shared our story, how we met, and it's something you should get if you have not gotten it already. And I'm sure that you'll be glad when you get the book. So that's how I say welcome. So sit back and relax as we take the conversation further.
Yes, sit back and relax as we take this conversation further. If you are a young guy or a young lady out there who is wondering, how do I connect rightly? I want to get married, but I really don't know how to connect with the right partner. I really don't know how to find out who is right for me. This will really be helpful. It will be educating, so you don't want to go anywhere. You want to sit down and take the lesson and enjoy a powerful, beautiful marital relationship. So today, honey, we will be looking at something you shared in this book while you were sharing your story, about how we met. Yeah, you mentioned something about internal conflict.
Okay.
Internal conflict.
All right. That will. Okay. Let me go this way. I wouldn't be able to talk about that except I talk about where I was coming from. One of the things we talked about in the book was we started with our personal journeys, because no two people come together without an history of where they are coming from. Okay, so shortly before I met her, by the way, we met at the NYSC orientation camp. That's the 1 year compulsory service for any Nigerian. It's a time where you go to serve your fatherland. All right, so I was posted to Anambra State, Nigeria. That was where I met this beautiful woman sitting beside me. All right, but before that time, I had a struggle, I would say, because I was still trying to understand if a particular lady that I was having feelings for was the one for me or not. I had been in a relationship for about 4 years. That was my first ever relationship anyway, that I thought was going to lead to marriage. I actually was planning for it to lead to marriage, but some things came up and we both discovered that we could not take this journey together. Of course, like the scripture says in Amos 3:3, can two work together except they be agreed? All right, we discovered after talking heart to heart and considering some of the experiences we had, putting one or two things together, it became obvious to both of us that we cannot take this journey together. All right, even though we loved each other. Okay, so that relationship had to be ended, and almost immediately I started feeling affection towards another lady in my circle then, and this was a struggle for me because it lasted for a long while, and I can't remember. I don't know. This was a process that required me to pray, to because I needed to confirm. I had to go through tongue strolls, praying again and again, trying to clarify what is this feeling about. Is she the one, or is there another one to come? So this lasted for almost 7 or 8 months, if I remember well, and that culminated into the season that took me to service here. And I remember that shortly before that time, I had a time of retreat. I had a fasting and prayer, maybe for like 3 days. It was near the day I was meant to resume at camp, the orientation camp, and I had a conversation with someone that was a mentor to me then, who helped me clarify a couple of things and told me that the truth is God is going to tell me, and I shouldn't just be bothered about it. So it was while I was going to camp. I remember I was on a journey, it was in the bus. I was just having this internal dialogue with God, and I was like, God, I'm going. I need to get this thing sorted before I get to camp, because I started perceiving somehow that my wife was coming from NYSC. I didn't know her. So what God dropped in my heart was, hey boy, don't worry, Eve will be brought to you. Just concentrate on tending the garden, on doing what I have called you to do. So that was the word that came to my heart. And as time will unveil it, I discovered that God actually had a plan for me. So what that experience taught me was the fact that you, as a guy or as a lady, as the case might be, you cannot probably understand what God has for you in terms of your future partner or your marital partner if you don't know how to communicate with God. Now, that internal dialogue, led to something that gave me an assurance. I had a word of assurance, a conviction in my heart that this was settled, all right? And that was an overshoot of my relationship with God, and I am glad, because that was one of the best things that happened to me.
to your feet. God bless you. Thank you for joining on this show. We celebrate you and we look forward to your testimonies
Yes, we do.
on coupling rights.
All right.
Thank you.
Until we see you again.
Bye.